Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Friday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. Need a roof? Call Parish. Just what you do. A Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and On Fire Athletes, platform powered by Scone. Good morning, y'all. Hope your Friday's off to a great start. Oh, what a surprise we all got with Kyle Williams' hire. So LSU bringing Kyle Williams back to Baton Rouge. He will be the LSU defensive line coach. Tigers will start spring practice tomorrow, Saturday, and I presume that Kyle Williams will be out there on the field with his group, getting them ready here. Happened pretty quickly. So if you were here Monday, we talked about how Al Davis, the Missouri defensive line coach, had kind of emerged as the front runner. Not kind of, he was the front runner. I was told they offered him the job. Apparently, there were some financial things. Deal couldn't get worked out, and so they pivoted. And best I could tell, you looked at the rest of the list of candidates, and we shared it with you. The candidates that LSU had spoken with, and kind of underwhelming. There wasn't one that just like jumped out and was like, that's the one. So enter Kyle Williams. They interviewed Kyle on Wednesday, and then he accepted the job on Thursday. So, there's I have a full Locked On episode about this that dropped this morning. So if you want to check it out, you can. YouTube or however you get your podcasts. Locked On LSU. It's strange. So number one, I love it for all the reasons everybody loves it. Former Tiger from Louisiana, great player, 13 NFL seasons. Instant credibility in the locker, all that stuff, right? Check, all that stuff. The flip side of it is he's never been a college coach. He's never recruited before. And it's odd because if you know the story, like Kyle was the DC at Ruston, his alma mater. So as I understand it, and I mean, I talked to Kyle periodically on the air over the years, like we're not, like I'm not putting up any false pretenses. Like Kyle would probably recognize my name from coming on the show and all, but like we're not friends or anything like that. So I don't want there to be any misconception about that. But as I understand it, like Kyle would, and he's like an awesome golfer too, by the way. I think I saw an interview where he said if he wasn't playing in the NFL, he would go and try to be a PGA Tour golfer. And I mean, he goes and plays in like these competitive tournaments around the country and stuff. Anyway, so he would play golf in the morning. He would coach at Ruston, and he's got 5 kids. And as I understand it, his daughters are like really good soccer players, and he's kind of one of he just left Ruston, by the way. So he coached this season, was his 5th season, and he stopped coaching. And part of that, I think, was, as I understand, was to spend more time with his children. So this is a little bit of a shakeup to that, right? Now you're leaving Ruston, you're coming to Baton Rouge, and you're going to have a much more labor intensive job. So anyway, I guess my point is like there's a long list of pros and there's also a long list of cons. But I think ultimately you're in an era where you're in revenue share. Everyone is being more mindful of what you spend. And, Kyle made over $52 million, or 52.7 or 57.2 million. I wrote it down, maybe 55.2 million that he made in his career. So I don't know that money is going to be like the sticking point for Kyle Williams on this one. So if you were paying Bo Davis $125 and it would have gone to $135 this year, that comes off the books. And let's say you're paying Kyle Williams $500. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing what that number will be. And I don't know what it is. I'll probably find out today. But let's just say it's somewhere around there, 5, 6. Well, like roughly half the money that you were going to spend, I would guess it's probably where it's going to be. Half the money you were going to spend on on Bo Davis. So it becomes a big savings. And a guy that loves LSU and played at LSU, has got 13 NFL seasons and tons of credibility. And then the other part about recruiting is, does recruiting really matter anymore? I mean, in the NIL world, does recruiting really matter? Now, maybe it will start to matter again because of rev share. But Bo Davis is the best recruiter on the defensive line you could find. You had Jakeem Stewart in state. LSU did an amazing job recruiting him with Bo and Frank Wilson. Frank's one of the ones that Jakeem was able to reclassify. He's the one who helped get Jakeem from AUG to Carr, get him reclassified. And Jakeem takes $2 million to go to USC. I mean, LSU did an awesome job recruiting him, and he still went somewhere else. So it's like, does it really matter that he can't or has never recruited? I don't know. So anyway, so Kyle Williams, big surprise though, man. I'm telling you, I give you 5-6 names of candidates that LSU spoke to that interviewed. And it just tells you, man, they were not impressed with any of the hires, or with any of the candidates. So Kyle Williams it is. Staff complete. Spring ball starts on Saturday. All right, smash that like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all for being here with us as always. We'll get to your questions and comments, so please fire away. Hey, Dale, good morning. Headed to the golf course on this beautiful morning. All right, man, hit him straight, Dale. Kelly Gross, good morning. Bubba Smith, good morning. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Dane, good morning. Glad to see Kyle Williams back. Great former Tiger, man. Undeniable. 13 years in the NFL, captain with the Bills. Leon, love the Williams hire. He'll have them playing tough. I think probably the biggest sticking point of this hire is, for all the things that I just said, like the thing that you need to see most is technical development. I really think that's what you need to see most out of this hire. Develop the defensive lineman. You got 4 true freshmen coming in at defensive tackle. You got Ahmad Bro and Don McKinley, who you're high on. You need to continue developing them. You've got guy Jacoby and Guillory coming off of an Achilles injury who's coming back. We need to see this development here. I think that's the biggest point for Kyle. Patrick, I'm all again pumped about Kyle Williams coming home to be our D-line coach. Great replacement for Bo. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying if you're saying definitively it's a great replacement, I don't know how you can say that because he's never coached in college. Again, for all the reasons we've talked about, I like the hire for all the reasons we've talked about. But it's also short-sighted not to acknowledge the risk of giving someone their first ever college job and it being the D-line job at LSU. There's risk associated. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. There's a lot I like about it. A lot more I like about it that I don't. But it is worth mentioning that. Hey, Cody. No better way to my birthday with some scone. All right, Cody, happy birthday, man. I hope it's a great one. I hope you get all the presents in the world and everybody's kind and generous and wishes you happy birthday and buys you lots of cake today. JWB JPB1 Williams hires a great one. I don't think I'm going to see anybody poo-pooing the hire. I think everybody who's an LSU fan is going to see a great former Tiger coming home and a guy who's universally liked and was a team captain up in Buffalo and heartbeat of that franchise for a long time and coming home and coached at Ruston at his alma mater and by the way, Ahmad Bro and Aiden Anding, Bro last year, Anding this year just signed with LSU from Ruston. So coached by Kyle Williams. Look, this is good. This was Ahmad Bro on AFR. This was March. I went and dug this up. This was March of 2023 when he flipped to LSU. This was Ahmad Bro talking about Kyle Williams, March of 2023.
Coach Kyle, he taught me more about being a man than anything. Bringing high energy to whatever you do. especially on the field, and ultimately not giving in to what your body wants to do, which is to quit when things get hard. And I really developed that since I've been stepped on foot on the campus with them.
I mean, that was Ahmad Bro as a high school commit in March of 2023. I mean, he signed with LSU in December 23 for the class of 24, right? But I mean, high praise. Dudes love him. I mean, that is inarguable, undeniable. Dudes love him. Okay. Go turn off the sound machine. Dale, before you tee off, here you go.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Okay. Parish Construction and Roofing. Remember, commercial, residential repairs, replacements, all that rain and wind the other day, high wind, man, we saw some wicked photos from our inspectors. Shingles ripped off of roofs all the way down to the decking in some places. It was crazy. So if you were in the path of that storm the other day, let us come give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection. It's Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Remember Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. That's semaglutide, tirzepatide, the weekly injections for weight loss. If you want to learn more, you can go to uniquephysique.com. Lowest prices, never any contract. Ship your medicine anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country, lower 48. And they can do your whole thing over telemed. So Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. And of course, go see Crystal over at Restored Motions. If you've got pain, she'll take you out of it, restoredmotions.com. Hey, Lance, good morning. Ben, morning. Can't help wonder if Pete Jenkins won't be in the background helping Kyle. I talked to Coach Pete earlier this week because I called him to ask about Al Davis. I think Coach Pete is out. You know, like he said it on air, and he told me he's like he just had everything left in the gas tank, to come back. So, he'll always be a resource. Remember, Coach Pete didn't coach Kyle Williams. Kyle got here I think Coach Pete left. Kyle got here in 02. Let's see. Kyle's first year at LSU was 02. Coach Pete came here in 2000 with Nick, but I can't remember how long he stayed. It was 2 or 3 years. Hang on. Yeah, he was just here 2000, 2001. And then it was out. And then it went to the Eagles in 7, 8, 9, then was retired. Came back when Coach O got the interim job at USC in 2013. Was there, then came back again when Coach O got the interim job at LSU in 16, was here 16, 17. So they didn't overlap at LSU. Patrick, let's see. LSU plays Florida in the basketball quarterfinals. Let's get a dub tonight. Rest and put all our chips in for the NCAA tournament. Hope we get a 2 seed. Hey, Lyle Ploche, good morning. Rooney, good morning. Brian Wynn, good morning. Deborah Cowart, good morning. Thomas from Louisiana played at LSU, All-American, played in the NFL, boxes checked. Go Tigers, congratulations, Kyle. Yeah, all that's great. It doesn't say anything about him being a coach. That's all about him being a player. Magic Johnson was one of the greatest players ever. He was a terrible coach. I mean, just because you're a great player doesn't mean you're gonna be a great coach. Like, you have to throw in that caveat. I can understand why everybody's excited. Lou, seems like Kyle was a safety hire if a lot went wrong. What do you mean? I'm curious what you mean by that. Let's see. Brad, good morning. You always say the signal for 98.1 is stronger than 104.5. Curious, is 107.3 as strong as 98.1 or same as 104.5? Weaker than 98.1, stronger than 104.5. I think I think Talk 107.3 is a 10,000 watt, whereas Eagle is 100,000 watt. The 104.5s are Class C, the low power, like 5,000 watt FMs. Tiger Diver, good morning. Trivia Carter, good morning. Ryan Moore, Matt, been a while. I love Kyle Williams as D-line coach, just for the idea. He's been in a coaching transition before, understands where players are coming from this new era. Let's see. Justin, morning, Matt, being from Ruston, watching the kids he coach, how they embrace him really was the reason Ruston won a state title, played for another. Derek, I like the Kyle Williams hire. What are your thoughts on LSU baseball having to come from behind several games so far this season? Should be cause for concern. No, Derek, it's not cause for concern, man. I mean, baseball, we talk about it all the time, man. Baseball is a very different sport. It doesn't matter if you're the physically superior team. You still have to throw the ball over the plate, and you have to hit the ball, and there's a lot of things. You win games a lot of different ways. So, no. I often say, like, LSU fans a lot of times take a football mindset into baseball, and it's their own poison. But no, LSU is really talented, man. Not a far from finished product, but they're plenty good enough. Robbie, morning, Matt. I think Chicago Bears will be in the playoffs 25 because I think Caleb Williams will be Pro Bowler under new head coach Ben Johnson, and Dennis Allen will have top defense in the NFL. Sure. I think they're in a really tough division, though, for that. Sean, Matt, is part of the Kyle Williams' higher ability to talk to agents relate to the players? Maybe. Sean, I just... here's my question. Like, again, Kyle just left coaching at Ruston and wanted, as I understand it, to be able to spend more time with his children. He's got 5 children. I think his 2 girls play soccer, want to see him. So, like, that's one of the reasons he left. Well, this is a pretty significant step up in role responsibilities, dealing with NIL and agents and all that sort of stuff. It's a surprising it's a surprising story, man. Justin, good morning. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I love it for all the reasons you love it. I got to keep stressing this. Like, I love it for all the reasons you love it. It's just really surprising. Like, it's very surprising. Sean, old coaches hate the NIL deal. ULL over here is just struggling and slowly seeing the effects. Rooney Sharon Moore and Crane and Company telling this stupid story about how he flipped Underwood with relationships is so dumb. I didn't even see it. I guess I'll go look that up. Yeah. Relationships and $12 million. Tiger Poppy, what's up? Spurge, good morning. Hey, Austin, good morning. Hopefully we'll be chanting, Kyle, with elite defensive play. Seth, I'm jealous of Dale. Hey, Seth, good morning. Robbie, well, March Madness coming up. Do you do an NCAA basketball tournament bracket? We do have a bracket at 1045ESPN.com and now LouisianaSports.net. So we'll be announcing. I actually having a call on that last night. So we will be announcing that soon with our prizes and all that stuff. So yes, we will have a bracket challenge again. Leonard Fournette on staff next season. I'll tell you the one that actually has the most buzz is Tyron. I know Leonard mentioned it, but I don't think Frank Wilson is close to being gone anytime soon. But the one that I do think whenever his playing days are done, it would be a real candidate would be Tyron, honestly. Like, I've heard that he wants to. There's a lot of people that want it to happen. Like, I do think. And I don't know if Brian Kelly will still be the head coach. Like, just whenever that happens, right? Whenever Tyron retires and however many years that is or whatever. But that's one I think probably does happen at some point. Let's see, Matt. Average person makes $1.7 million in their lifetime, telling kids to stay in school and get a degree. You can get a degree and make money in NIL. Dale, who would you guess knows more about D-line technique, Kyle Williams or Bo Davis? It's not just knowing more about technique, Dale. It's also the ability to coach it. I mean, Bo's been coaching it for 30 years. Like, who's a better defensive line coach, Bo Davis or Kyle Williams? Bo Davis. Defensive line coach. You can say who's a better player in the NFL. So who's a better defensive line coach? Pete Jenkins never played in the NFL. He's a better coach than all of them combined. Hey, Lowell, good morning. Brent, good morning. Charlie, good morning. Kyle's a really good dude, one of the most humble NFL players I've ever encountered. He's great, dude. It will be a rare day that you find anybody says a bad thing about Kyle Williams. Awesome. An awesome guy. Hey, Blair, while I love the Williams as a player, being an SEC defensive line coach with no experience is a big risk. That's all I'm saying. Because he played defensive line doesn't mean he can coach it. Would have loved to have seen a long-time G5 D-line coach. That's Blair. That's kind of the tug of war, right? Internally, it's emotionally you love the hire because of everything Kyle Williams has been LSU, all that stuff. The skins on the wall, 13 years, all that. But there is that risk component of it, where you hired a guy that's never been a coach and has never coached defensive lines. A lot goes into it. Franco Nation, morning, Matt. Hope you have a blessed day. Let's go. We got the guy, and might I add, he is hungry to prove himself. Everyone, they can do this, make the D-line the best in the country. CraigItUpDale.com. Hey, who dat Tigers? Good morning. Michael Cook, good morning. I saw this. Yeah, Mark Booty died. I do remember Mark Booty. I was young, but I do remember Mark Booty, not only at LSU, but also obviously during his time in the NFL. But yeah, I saw that earlier this week. He was young too. I think mid-50s. Hey, Guy Brooks, good morning. Happy Friday. BK is legit sold on local and SEC coaches. I like the Williams hire. I'm surprised he didn't go back to his ND or Cincinnati tree for the hire, considering how important it is. Well, remember, there's a couple things, Rex. First of all, who would that person be? Who would that coach be? And why didn't or wouldn't he have brought that coach here already? Remember, Brian Kelly's already hired Jamar Cain. Hired Jimmy Lindsey, but Jimmy Lindsey had the connection with Matt House, right? And then Bo Davis. And the Bo Davis pull was one internally from Scott and Verge and Frank Wilson. All the people knew. Those are the ones that pushed really hard, Bo. And I think it'd have been interesting the fact that after Bo was gone after just 1 year, but Brian Kelly probably could have snatched it back and be like, I'm hiring my guy now. And to stay, in sort of the LSU family tree is interesting. It's interesting. It is. It's just a very interesting hire. Hey, Quentin, good morning. Dylan Holly, how's the windshield? I think we're okay, Dylan, actually. I think we're okay. Guy Brooks, do you think JJ will have the weekend lineup set up for the SEC? Really rotate each game? Oh, I think you're still going to see some rotation. I think you're going to see like right field. Well, Jake Brown is probably like your everyday right fielder. I think there's going to be times where you go lefty-righty matchups where you try to get Ethan Fry in the lineup. I think Pearson's going to DH and play some left. And I do think next weekend you'll probably see Luis Hernandez catch all three, SEC start all three games against Missouri. Doesn't mean Aaron Beatty won't be like a late inning replacement if you're up big or something like that. So, Rocky, former great players don't necessarily make good coaches. I hope Williams is the right guy, the right hire. I hope so too, man. Charlie said his defenses at Ruston were outstanding. I know it's high school, but I think Williams will do well. Yeah, it's high school. I mean, Les hired Jabbar Jalou because he has the running backs coach who was a great high school coach, but because you had to have a New Orleans presence for recruiting, and that lasted 1 year. Again, I'm not saying it's not going to work, and I'm excited. Again, I want to be clear. Like, I'm excited for all the reasons everybody's excited about this. Same. Kyle and I overlapped at LSU. I think I'm about the same age. I think I'm 1 year older than Kyle. Actually, I think he's 41. Let's see, Kyle is 40. I think almost a year. He's June of '83. I was July of '82. So I'm like right at 1 year older than him. So we overlapped at LSU. I mean, yeah, Kyle's great, man. I hope it's awesome. I really, and I think it can be for sure. It's just a risk, right? It's not a risk that I would take with a head coach or a coordinator. It's one I think you can take. Like Ed Ogeron hired Meatball. Remember, Ed Ogeron hired Dennis Johnson as his defensive line coach. And like that was his first collegiate job, was the LSU D-line job. Like that's a huge first collegiate job. Meatball had been a GA and stuff like that, so at least he'd been around. But was still a big risk that you could take, and it's paid off. Dennis Johnson's awesome. Now he's defensive line coach for the Ravens. So, all right, except for I got to go, y'all. I'm really late. My apologies. I got to get out of here. All right, y'all have a great day. Go check out Locked on LSU. I got a full episode talking a ton about Kyle Williams. Go check that out. Locked on LSU podcast YouTube. We'll see you for AFR.